Hey guys, I got a really good question in the comment section of one of my videos, and it was how long can you stay on the pure protein diet? Okay, and the answer is it depends. Okay, the more body fat you have, the easier it is to burn that body fat for fuel, for energy. Okay, the more body fat you have, the longer you can stay on a diet. The more body fat you have, the longer you can stay on a more extreme diet, okay, than a person who is slightly overweight, a person who's an average weight, or a person who's lean trying to get extremely lean, okay? So it really does depend on the person as to how long they can stay on, okay? I'm gonna give you a couple of examples. Like, let's say a guy's already at 10% body fat, he's already cut, he's already lean, he wants to get down to like 6%, okay? Photo shoot, beach vacation, bodybuilding competition, whatever. He's already very lean, but he wants to get leaner, okay? Since he has so little body fat, he's gonna suffer from the very beginning, and it's gonna be hard from the very beginning, okay? He's basically gonna have to diet for several weeks, and it's gonna suck the entire time, and he's going to stand on stage, get the photos taken, whatever, and then rebound, just eat his ass off and, gain a lot of fat overnight. He's not gonna be able to sustain it because he has so little body fat, okay? So a person with 10% body fat trying to get down to 6, not going to be able to stay on an extreme diet like the pure protein diet for very long. At the other end of the spectrum, okay, let's say a person has a whole lot of excess body fat. That is like a massive buffer that he has. Okay, think of it like this. The guy at 10% body fat, like, I turn off the water to his house and he has no stored water. Immediately he's going to start suffering. He's going to immediately start getting thirsty. He's immediately going to start suffering, start panicking because he has no water, okay? Now, let's say a guy has a 500-gallon tank of water in his garage. I turn off the water. It could be a year before he realizes that I turned off the water, because he's got a 500-gallon of water. Like, what the hell does he care if he's getting water in from, like, the street, from, like, the public, water authority, if he's got a 500-gallon tank in his garage? He's not even gonna notice he's actually out, his water's been turned off. And that's basically the way it is with a person who's very overweight, okay? So what I'm basically saying is, the more fat you have, the longer you can stay on a diet. Okay, the more fat you have, the more extreme the diet can be without you losing energy, being in a bad mood, etc. Okay, because you have so much body fat to burn. After a while, okay, even if you started with a lot of body fat, you're going to get leaner, and it's going to be harder to burn that body fat for energy. And then if you want to remain, okay, in a diet, if you want to continue to get leaner, you're going to have to switch things up. So what you do is you stay on the diet as long as you can until you start to get depleted. Mood goes downhill, hormonal, activity goes downhill. You're hungry, you can't concentrate, you're in a bad mood, whatever. Then you have to go ahead and change something. And like I said, if you're not already as lean as you want to be, you have to go ahead and change it in a way that you can stay on the diet. So that might be in the beginning a fat refeed meal. Wake up Saturday morning, have a big, fatty, calorically heavy meal. Just a bunch of bacon, a bunch of eggs, a bunch of cheese, a bunch of, whatever you want to have, okay? Have that meal. If your body's fat adapted, which it should be before you jump on the pure protein diet, you're gonna suck that right up into your body. You're gonna feel great. It's gonna taste wonderful. It's gonna be incredible for you, okay? Do that, once a week maybe. Then after a while, you're gonna get to the point where you're gonna have to change things up again. You could do things like fat cycling, okay? When you have a hotter workout, you go ahead and you take in more fat, therefore more calories, you have more energy. You can do that. Let's say you have a couple days where you do a lighter workout. Maybe you just do some abs. Maybe you have the day completely off. On those days, you would stay on the pure protein diet, so you have like a really extreme caloric deficit 3 days of the week. 4 days of the week, you're at, almost maintenance calories, maybe a little bit below maintenance. But over the week, the average deficit is going to be huge, but you're almost at maintenance like 4 days a week. So you have a little bit of a break. And then of course there are real diet breaks where you go, like, let's say 2 weeks on an extreme diet, go maintenance calories a little bit lower, I recommend, for another week, then you come out of that refreshed, and then you go another 2 weeks on an extreme diet. So what I'm basically saying is, depending upon how much body fat you have to lose, go on an extreme diet. When it starts to get taxing, when you start to feel depleted, do something to change it up, okay? Whether it's refeeds, fat cycling, or diet breaks, and you just continue staying on the diet, but remaining healthy and sane by having higher calorie periods. Then you continue to lose weight, but in a healthy way. And once you get to the point where you are as lean as you want to be, then you slowly transition out of the pure protein diet into, like I said, caloric maintenance or slightly under caloric maintenance. So that way you can lose fat fast. When you get depleted, you continue to lose fat at a slower rate because you have to have some refeeds or higher calorie days, okay? Then when you get to the point where you're as lean as you want to be, you just slowly up your calories until you get to maintenance. And that is how you can, over the long term, stay in a caloric deficit, continue losing at the fastest rate possible, but like I said, stay healthy and happy and sane. If you're interested in learning how to do this, check out Low Carb Cutting and Bulking at lowcarbcuttingandbulking.com. It's a complete resource. It shows you everything from determining your goal body weight, monitoring your progress, getting fat adapted, probably the most important part of this course, how to use the pure protein diet, how to transition out of the pure protein diet, diet breaks, fat refeeds, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Also, it teaches you how to bulk on low carbs, and it teaches you how to transition over to maintenance calories on low carbs. It is the absolute best resource. If you would like to have the opportunity to not only get Low Carb Cutting and Bulking, but also to be able to ask me questions, check out the Raw Strength and Muscle Brotherhood. That is not just access to Low Carb Cutting and Bulking and the Raw Strength and Muscle Weighted Calisthenics program, but that is also access to me. There's going to be a community where you could go ahead and ask questions like this. Hey, do you think I should do a refeed day, a refeed meal? Do you think I should start fat cycling? This is my fat cycling plan. Do you think these macros work for me? Is this right? I can review it, look at you, and look at your stuff and tell you if you're doing it right or not, or if I suggest you change things around a little bit. And once a week, I'm going to be doing Zoom calls. So you could ask a question live. If you can't be on the call, you could ask a question in advance. I'll answer it live. And you can watch the recordings of the Zoom call whenever you have a chance. So like I said, lowcarbcuttingandbulking.com if you just want the information. The Raw Strength and Muscle Brotherhood if you want to have not just the information, but also access to me so I can help you as you progress, as you have questions. Anyway, I appreciate the question. It was an awesome question. I love you guys asking these things because it gives me exactly what I need to be talking about in these videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.